Hi guys and welcome back. So I'm here again with another puppy pattern. We have a very cute puppy pattern on the channel already and then another one which is a reversible puppy. I wanted to make something a little bigger but extremely beginner friendly. So here's a new pattern for all of you. Before we get started, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon to get notified every time I post a video. If you try out any of my projects, don't forget to send it to me either on Instagram or by email. The links are in the description below. So let's get started. So here's everything we're going to need to do our project. I'm going to be using yarn primarily in two colors. I have this oatmeal beige colored yarn as well as some brown yarn. You can choose any colors that you want for your puppy. Along with my yarn, I'm going to be using a 3.5mm crochet hook. I also have a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, a stitch marker. I'm going to be using a pair of safety eyes and a safety nose. If you don't have these, don't worry about it. You can always use black yarn and just embroider it on. Also, you're going to need some stuffing. You can use polyfill, fiberfill. I have some yarn bits from older projects as well, which I'm going to use as my stuffing. So let's start with the light colored yarn. We're going to be starting with the head. To get started, we're going to make a magic ring. So hold the yarn and create an X at the back of your fingers. Insert your crochet hook into the bottom, pick up the top and twist, and then just pull up a loop. You have a magic ring ready. If you're not comfortable with the magic ring method, chain 2 and start working into the second chain from the hook. Into this magic ring, we're going to place 6 single crochets. Insert your crochet hook into the ring, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Tuck the tail end of the magic ring to close it up, and that completes your first row. For the second row, into each one of the stitches, we're going to place 2 single crochets or an increase. So into that very first stitch, let's go in with 1 and 2. Into the next one, 1 and 2. Into the one after that, 1 and 2, and you're going to do this 6 times all the way around until you have 12 stitches for this row. Now we're going to grab our stitch marker and we're going to mark out this 12th stitch. We do this so that we can keep track of our rows. Now for the next row, into the first stitch, 1 single crochet. Into the one after that, an increase or 1 and 2. 1, into the next one, into the one after that, 1 and 2. Into the next one, 1. Into the following one, 1 and 2. So that's the repeat, 1 followed by an increase, 6 times all the way around until you have 18 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, we're going to start with 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 into the stitch after that, into the third one, 1 and 2. Again 1, 1 and an increase, 1 and 2. Do this 6 times all the way around until you have 24 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, we're going to do 3 single crochets, 1 into the first stitch, 1 into the second stitch, 1 into the third stitch, followed by an increase into the fourth. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 6 times all the way around until we have 30 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're going to do 4 single crochets followed by an increase 6 times all the way around until you have 36 stitches for this row. Now for the next 4 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 36 stitches for each of these rows. We're done with our repeat rows now. For the next row, you're going to start with 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now you're going to place 2 more single crochets, 1 and 2. followed by a decrease. To do a decrease, you're going to split the first stitch. You can see the V, only pick up the front loop. Do the same thing to the stitch after that. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Again do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Let's do a decrease again. Split the first stitch, split the second stitch, and yarn over, pull through. We're going to do that 5 times in total. So this is number 3. And again for number 4. And finally number 5. 2 single crochets followed by a decrease.
Now you should be left with 8 stitches. Place 1 single crochet into each of these.
This will bring your stitch count total for this row to 30 stitches. Now for the next row, we're going to start with 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Into the next stitch, we're going to do an increase, 1 and 2. Into the next 3 stitches, 1 single crochet each. Into the next stitch, we're going to do an increase, 1 and 2. And now you're going to follow this repeat, the following repeat 3 times. You're going to do an increase followed by 2 single crochets, 1, 2. Second time increase, 2 single crochets, 1, 2. And one more time do that. Increase, 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Now let's do an increase again. And then 3 single crochets, 1 into the next one, 1 into the following one, 1. Now you should have 6 stitches left. Let's do 1 single crochet into the last 6 stitches. And this should bring your stitch count total to this row for 36 stitches. Now for the next row, we're going to start with 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to do an increase into the next stitch, followed by 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that 5 times. Increase, 4 single crochets, do that 3 more times. After you're done with that, you're going to do an increase. You should have 5 stitches left. Place 1 single crochet into each of those stitches, and this should bring your stitch count total for this row to 42 stitches. This is how it should look. Now for the next 3 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 42 stitches for each of the rows. So do your next 3 repeat rows and then meet me back here again. Now once you're done with your repeat rows, this is what it should look like. Now for the next row, we're going to do 5 single crochets followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until we have 36 stitches. That's my 5 single crochets. Let's do a decrease together again. Now you do this 5 times all the way around. Now before we proceed to the next row, let's add our safety eyes and nose. So this is where we have our working yarn right now, the end of the row. I'm going to use the opposite side as the front. We're going to count 9 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And between rows 9 and 10, we're going to attach the safety eyes. 1 here, I'm going to leave a space of 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And place the second eye. And now we're going to go between rows 14 and 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, which is right here. Go right to the center between the 2 eyes, and we're going to place our little safety nose. Once you're happy with all the placement, add the safety backings at the back. Now for the next row, we're going to place one single crochet followed by a decrease 12 times all the way around to bring our stitch count total for this row to 24 stitches. So just one single crochet and then follow it up with a decrease. Now for the next row, you're going to place one single crochet, another single crochet followed by a decrease. So that's 2 single crochets followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until you have 18 stitches for this row. For the next row, we're just going to do one single crochet followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until we have 12 stitches for this row. Don't forget to add your stuffing. I have a mix of some polyfill as well as some of my yarn scraps from other projects. This is a good way to use them up. And make sure you've stuffed the head well. And keep stuffing it till you finish up the head. Now we're just going to leave a long tail. We're going to use this for sewing on later. Snip the yarn off. You're going to pull it through. We have to close up this little hole that we have right here. Make sure you've added all the yarn that you need to. You can pull your stitch marker out. Thread up your yarn needle. And now we're going to go in and out of each of the stitches around. So just do your in and out pattern, in, out of the next one. And then you're just going to tug. It almost works like a drawstring, and it'll close up that little hole at the back. You can just sew up the ends well. Make sure you're hiding your ends and leave the rest of the yarn for us to attach when we work on the body. And once you're done with the head, this is what it should look like. Now we're going to start working on the ears. So you're going to do rows 1 to 3 of the head. Start with a magic ring with 6 single crochets, increase around to 12, 1 single crochet followed by an increase for 18 stitches. And now for the next 4 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 18 stitches for each of the rows. Now for the next row, you're going to do 1 single crochet followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until you have 12 stitches for this row. Now for the next 6 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 12 stitches for each of the rows. Once you're done with your repeat rows, this is what it should look like. Now for the next row, you're going to do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, followed by a decrease 3 times all the way around until you have 9 stitches for this row. After that, you can just snip your yarn off, pull it through, and then make a second ear exactly like the first one. And once you're done, this is what they should look like. Now we're going to start working on the body, and for the body we're going to be following rows 1 through 5 of the head. So you're going to start with the magic ring. Into the magic ring, place 6 single crochets. You're going to increase around for 12, 1 single crochet followed by an increase for 18, 2 single crochets followed by an increase for 24, 3 single crochets followed by an increase for 30, Once you reach the row where you've done 30 stitches, meet me back here again. Now for the next row, we're going to start with 4 single crochets. Now we're going to do an increase into the next stitch, followed by a single crochet, followed by an increase, followed by another single crochet. Into the stitch after that, let's do an increase again. Now do 12 single crochets. Now do an increase, single crochet into the next, increase, single crochet into the next, increase, and you should be left with 4 stitches, 1 single crochet into each of those 4, and this brings your stitch count total for this row to 36 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 36 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're going to start with 5 single crochets, followed by an increase, 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches, an increase again, 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches, an increase, into the next 12 stitches, 1 single crochet each, again an increase, single crochet into the next 2 stitches, increase, single crochet into the next 2 stitches, increase. You should be left with 5 stitches, 1 single crochet into each of those 5 stitches. And this should bring your stitch count total for this row up to 42 stitches. Now we're going to follow this up with 1 row of just 1 single crochet all the way around for 42 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, we're going to start with 6 single crochets. Then we're going to do an increase, followed by a single crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. Do that one more time. An increase, followed by a single crochet in the next 3 stitches, another increase. Let's do 12 single crochets now. Follow that up with an increase, single crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, and 3. Again increase, single crochet in the next 3, 1, 2, 3, and increase, and you should be left with 6 stitches. Do 1 single crochet in each of those stitches to bring your stitch count total to 48 stitches for this row. Now for the next 5 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 48 stitches for each of the rows. Now for the next row, we're going to start with 6 single crochets. Now we're going to do a decrease, followed by a single crochet in the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. Do that one more time. A decrease, followed by 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3. Another decrease. Follow this up with 12 single crochets. Follow that up with a decrease, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, again decrease, 3 single crochets, 1 more decrease. You should be left with 6 stitches. Place 1 single crochet into each of these to bring your stitch count total to 42 stitches for this row. For the next row, we're going to start with 5 single crochets. let's do a decrease followed by 2 single crochets, another decrease followed by 2 single crochets, another decrease, and now 12 single crochets. Again, let's do a decrease followed by 2 single crochets, decrease, 2 single crochets, and another decrease. Should be left with 5 stitches. Place 1 single crochet into each of those to bring your stitch count total to 36 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, we're going to do 4 single crochets, 3 and 4, followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until we have 30 stitches for this row. Now for the next 3 rows, just place 1 single crochet all the way around for 30 stitches for each of the rows. Now for the next row, you're going to do 3 single crochets followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until you have 24 stitches for this row, and then you're going to follow that up with 2 rows of just 1 single crochet all the way around for 24 stitches for each of the rows. Now before we proceed to the next row, let's add some stuffing. With every row that you make now, you're going to continuously keep adding stuffing because we're going to work towards the last couple of rows of the body. Now for the next row, you're going to do 2 single crochets followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until you have 18 stitches for this row. Now for the next row, you're going to do 1 single crochet followed by a decrease 6 times all the way around until you have 12 stitches for this row. Now for the last row, you're just going to decrease all the way around 6 times, and then you're just going to close up the body the same way as you did with the head. Once you're done, you should have a body shaped a little like a teardrop that looks like this. Now we're going to start with the front legs. Make a magic ring with 6 single crochets in it. For row number 2, you're just going to increase all the way around for 12 stitches for this row, and then follow that up with 2 rows of just 1 single crochet all the way around for 12 stitches for each of those rows. Now for the next row, you're going to do 1 single crochet followed by a decrease 3 times all the way around until you have 9 stitches for this row. So that's again 1 single crochet, decrease, and a third time 1 single crochet, decrease. And now for the next 4 rows, just 1 single crochet all the way around for 9 stitches for each of the rows. Now for the next row, you're going to do 2 single crochets followed by an increase in the third stitch. Do this 3 times around, so that's again 1, 2, followed by an increase, and 1 last time, and this will bring your stitch count total to 12 stitches for this row. And that ends your front leg. Place a slip stitch on the last stitch, leave a long tail that we'll use for sewing on, snip your yarn off, pull it through, and don't forget to add some stuffing to this as well. Go ahead and make a second one exactly like this one. Now to do the back legs, you're just going to follow rows 1 through 6 of the front leg. So we're going to start with a magic ring with 6 single crochets, increase around to 12. Rows 3 and 4 will just be 1 single crochet around for 12 stitches. Row 5 will reduce down to 9 stitches, and then 1 row of just 9 stitches. Go ahead and make 2 of those for your hind legs. Let's work on the tail now. You're going to start with your magic ring. Into the magic ring, we're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. tug the tail end to close up your magic ring. For row number 2, we're going to do 1 increase all the way around 4 times, and that will bring our stitch count total for this row to 8. Now for the next row, you're going to do 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and an increase in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This brings your stitch count total to 12 stitches for this row. And now for the next 4 rows, you're just going to place 1 single crochet all the way around for 12 stitches for each of the rows. Now for the last row, you're going to do 1 single crochet followed by a decrease 4 times all the way around until you have 8 stitches for this row. Don't forget to add some stuffing and fasten this piece off with a long tail as well. Now I'm going to do some detailing on the face. I have some scrap white yarn, really small bits of it. I'm going to thread that yarn up. Now we're going to go from the bottom of the head, and we're going to go to that area just around the eyes. So if you see, I've pulled up my yarn right here next to the eyes, and we're going to be going to the top over here and then thread it across to the other side like this. So it just gives a little bit of detailing to the eyes. Go across the bottom one more time to do the same detailing on the other side as well. If you can see, it gives a really cute effect to the eyes, covering it around the sides. If you want, you can go a second time around and do this one more time. If you want that detailing to be a little thick, let me just do it and show you what it looks like. I'm going across again, pulling the yarn through, across the other side and through the side right here. I'm just gonna pull the yarn in place, tighten the bits. So there you go, you have little whites of the eyes on the side. Gives a very cute detail to the eyes. Now I'm actually gonna go right down to the nose. We're gonna go under the nose as close as we can, right here, and go into that stitch out through the bottom like this. We're back to the point where we started, and you can just tie up the ends right there. That completes some detailing to the eyes. Next, we're going to add on the ears. So the ears are going to go on either side, almost in line with the eyes. We're going to attach it. If you remember, we didn't add stuffing to the ears. That's because I like them to be a little floppy. We're just going to stitch the top, simple back and forth stitch just to close up that area on top. Go to either side, couple of rows near the eyes, and you can sew your ear in place with a simple stitch. Once you're done with one ear, do the exactly same thing with the other one as well. Once you're done attaching the ears, this is what it should look like. So now we're going to work on assembling the body. So we're going to go to rows 15 and 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So between rows 15 and 16 is somewhere right here. Place your body flat. You're going to go on either side, and you're going to first attach the back legs. So the back legs come on the sides like this. So once you're happy with the placement of the back legs, just go ahead and sew this in place like this. Do the same thing on the other side as well. Now we can attach the front legs. To attach the front legs, we're going to go to the front, go about 3 rows behind, 1 2 3, and right here, right in the front, you're going to attach the legs like this, one on either side. Once you've attached all the limbs, this is what it looks like. You can just flatten it to make it lay down. We're going to attach the tail at the back. Again, just a simple stitch right at the back, standing up straight. Now I'll show you how to attach the head. So the head is going to come in between the front legs, above the body. So let's thread up our yarn. So now if you remember, our head was threaded up at the bottom over here. We're actually going to go to the back of the head around here. Now we're going to put it right in between the body over here. Give it a little tug in place. You have this string from the body as well. You can use that just to reinforce this, because you're gonna have to sew this on pretty tightly. But basically, this is how it needs to be sewed on. This is the front of the body. The head sits on top of the body. So let me sew this and then show you what it looks like. As I said, I'm going to be using both of these pieces, this one as well as this one. I'm going to thread this up and then use that to attach the head as well. And now once you're done, this is what it looks like. This is such a cute and quick project to work on. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please comment down below and let me know what you want to see next. Like the video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, bye bye.